Well, welcome everyone to the Owensboro Board of Commissioners regular meeting, July 17th. This time we would please call the roll. City Clerk, Beth Cecil.
Commissioner Jay Vallada.
Here.
Commissioner Larry Conder.
Here.
Mayor Tom Watson.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Bob Glenn.
Here.
Commissioner Pam Smithwright.
Here.
Thank you. And now we'd like to please stand for the invocation and the pledge by Commissioner Larry Conder.
Thank you, Mayor.
Welcome.
Everyone would just bow their head and pray with me, please, or a silent meditation, whichever be your choice. Dear God, I'm reminded today of the words that Mother Teresa gave us some time ago. It goes a little bit like this. People are often unreasonable, irrational, and self-centered. Forgive them anyway. If you are kind, people will accuse you of selfish, ulterior motives. Be kind anyway. If you're successful, you will win some unfaithful friends and some genuine enemies. Succeed anyway. If you're honest and sincere, people may deceive you. Be honest and sincere anyway. What you spend years creating, others could destroy overnight. Create anyway. If you find serenity and happiness, some may be jealous. Be happy anyway. To you today will often be forgotten, but do good anyway. Give the best you have, and it will never be enough. Give your best anyway. In the final analysis, it's between you and God. It was never between you and them anyway. Thank you, dear Lord. Amen. Now the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Commissioner. At this time, I'd like to recognize a special guest we have in the office, also in the audience today. My mother, Gabrielle Watson's here. First time she's ever been to a meeting. And she doesn't have cable, so she thought this was a good way to come and see what was going on. So, welcome, Gabriel. Okay, first order of business, item 4A. Would like to consider approval of the minutes from dated July the 3rd, 2018. Could I please have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. Thank you. Item 4B, we'd like for you to consider these two board appointments. The board is the Regional Water Resource Agency Board of Directors. I ask that you reappoint Ed Cecil and David Johnson to 4-year terms expiring June the 30th, 2022. I'll make a motion to approve. Could I have a second, please?
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Number 5, ordinance, second reading, none. Number 6, we have a first reading. We will not vote. I'm going to call on the counselor to read the ordinance and city manager to discuss if we need any. Counselor.
Thank you, Mayor.
You're welcome.
Ordinance 12-2018, an ordinance amending the City of Owensboro Employee Handbook Chapter 1000, Subchapter 1004, pay chart relating to the positions of Executive Assistant to the Mayor and City Clerk, and further establishing the compensation of city employees and non-elected city officers in accordance with a personnel and pay classification plan as required by KRS 83A.070, introduced and publicly read on first reading this 17th day of July, 2018.
Thank you, Counselor. City Manager, do you have some comments?
I do, Mayor. Thank you. State law requires the Commission to approve our pay charts by ordinance. The charts for your consideration this evening have 2 changes. First involves changing responsibilities on the 4th floor. With the vacancy of the Executive Assistant to the Mayor, we're moving oversight of the customer service reps downstairs from that position to the City Clerk. The City Clerk will also supervise the Executive Assistant to the Mayor when the position is filled. With the City Clerk becoming a supervisory position, it changes from a non-exempt to an exempt position. As a result, the position is moving from one pay chart to another, to an exempt, to the professional technical exempt chart. Correspondingly, the executive assistant to the mayor becomes a non-exempt position because it is no longer a supervisor. So it also moves from the professional technical exempt to the administrative services pay chart. So that is the first change. Second change is really just housekeeping to reflect the elements of cost of living and the targeted pay increases that the commission approved in the 18-19 fiscal year budget.
Thank you. Any comment from the commission? Okay. There'll be no vote. We'll move to item 7, municipal orders. Counselor.
Municipal Order 17-2018, a municipal order authorizing and directing the mayor to execute deeds of conveyance between the City of Owensboro and Regional Water Resource Agency, transferring 8 properties on which RWRA has built publicly owned treatment works or lift stations for its operations, and further conveying access easements from the city to RWRA. Introduced and publicly read for approval this 17th day of July, 2018.
Thank you, Steve. Could I have a motion to approve, please?
Motion.
Second.
City manager, do you have any comments?
Just briefly, Mayor, the joint city-county ordinance that created RWRA in 1994 authorized all assets and easements of the old sewer commission to be transferred to RWRA, but for whatever reason, these properties were never conveyed out of the city's name. So today is largely cleanup. In my discussions with Executive Director Joe Shepherd's, RWRA already maintains and insures these properties, so there is no impact to the city.
Joe, you have any comments? No, sir. Okay. Questions?
Do you have any questions?
Okay. Any questions from the commission?
I've got one, if I may. Just a quick one, probably for
Commissioner
Joe.
Glenn.
Yes, sir.
So these facilities, you're already using the land for these facilities. So there's the quick question. Do you expect any expansion, and this is kind of looking down at Steve, if an expansion occurred, will we have to redo or amend this action we're taking tonight? Would there be any adjustment or tweaking that would need to occur?
We shouldn't need to on
Unless
this
we're
particular-
annexing additional land beyond what's listed here.
Correct.
Okay,
No.
I'm done, Joe. I just wanted to check on that. That's all I needed. Thank you. Appreciate it. Keep up the good work.
Good job, Joe. Okay. Any comment from the public? Okay, hearing none. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Item number 8, city manager items. City manager.
Yes, Mayor, I ask that you recognize Ms. Hamrick to present the financial report.
I recognize Ms. Hamrick. Go ahead.
Yes, Mayor and Commission. The financial report for the month ended May 31st. Our general fund revenues through May 31st of $49,748,807 were $1,599,443 over budget, primarily due to occupational and net profit license fee revenue. Our general fund expenditures of $45,001,211 were $3,272,541 under budget, primarily due to savings in personnel and timing of maintenance and supplies. The revenue and expenditures in our other funds are in line with the year-to-date budget, with the following exceptions. The Convention Center Operations Fund is under budget in revenues due to timing, and the Transit Fund is under budget in federal and state grant revenues, also due to timing, both of these of which will be caught up by the end of the year. You'll see them caught up in the June financials. So, and as we do every month after the financial report, if City Clerk Beth would bring up the PowerPoint. Okay. This graph, it represents a picture of our total general fund revenues and expenditures for year-to-date May 2018, which represents 11 months of activity. The green bar reflects revenue at our old rates. The blue bar reflects revenue at our new rates. And the red bar is the city's year-to-date expenditures. The year-to-date surplus, or revenues over expenditures, is $4,747,596. At the old rates, this year-to-date net would have been a deficit, or expenditures in excess of revenues of $3,906,116. Please note that this is not a predictor of where the year end will be. June is a high expenditure month. We have June yet to go. June is high due to weather and year-end accruals. A popular example of a year-end accrual would be our payroll. June has 2 pay periods, so if it was a standalone month, you would see 2 pay periods of expenses. But due to year-end accounting rules, any days worked in June but paid in July get recognized in the month of June. So June, in effect, will actually have 2.5 pay periods worth of expenses, and that's just an example of what I mean by accruals. Another item that I would like to point out is that this time last year, May of 2017 reflected a surplus of $3.3 million. However, at the end of the year, at the end of June, we had a deficit of $465,000. So I just wanted to bring that to light, just as an example of what a difference June does make to our financials. So that 4.7 is not a precursor of where we'll be at the end of the year. I can report, however, that I believe our year-end results will be better than what we were projecting back at budget time. If anyone has any questions, I'd be happy to try and answer.
Okay, I'll make a motion to file for audit. Could I have a second, please?
Second.
Any discussion from the commission? Hearing none. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Ms. Hamrick.
You're welcome, Mayor.
Item 8B, consider personnel appointments. City Manager.
Thank you, Mayor. Just one tonight. Corey Grant, probationary full-time, non-civil service promotional appointment to lieutenant with the fire department, effective August 5th.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Item 8C, City Manager comments.
No additional comments tonight, Mayor. Thank you.
You're welcome. Item number 9, communications from elected officials. Commissioner Pam Smith-Wright, please.
Thank you, Mayor.
You're welcome.
I just wanted to remind everybody that on August the 1st through the 15th, we will be doing our Pay It Forward campaign again this year. And that's just, we're just asking everyone to do something nice for somebody sometime during that period of time. I mean, I know people do it every day, but it's a little period that we're calling it Pay It Forward. So we would appreciate everybody doing something nice for somebody. And glad to see Bob back. And that's it, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Glenn.
Yeah, just a couple of things real quickly. I was overseas for a couple of weeks and learned a lot about how wonderful our community is. They have nothing on us in terms of hospitality and the things we offer as a community, so it's great to be back. A couple of very quick items here. So Sam Bird, who's very active in our community, in the veterans community in particular, is going to be named to the Kentucky Veterans Hall of Fame. So if you know Sam, congratulate him. That's a huge honor to be in Lexington. Of course, Romp was very successful, tremendously successful to the point they had to stop selling tickets. So congrats to the Bluegrass Museum and all involved with that. On a serious note, the death of Ms. Owen in the domestic abuse event brings back the compelling and difficult issue you have with restraining orders when we do and it's one thing, DJ's here tonight, when you go back to Frankfurt, I hope you'll look at, ways we can strengthen that or at least create better databases and communication for victims. I think our police department did all they could, but in this case, you can't stop somebody that's motivated to do mayhem. And it also highlights the great work Oasis, Crossroads, and all these emergency shelters do for women and men who are victims of abuse or potential abuse. So I think we should be mindful of that because those emergency protective orders are great in one sense, but it's really hard to do, and that's why some victims do not enact them at all because they think there'll be retribution. So I think it's a tragic end, but on the other hand, as a community, I think we do a great job trying to support people who are potential victims of abuse generally. So that's all I've got.
Commissioner Vallada.
Nothing further tonight, Mayor. Just glad to be here. Thank you.
Commissioner Condor.
Just one other story I'd like to share. Commissioner Smith-Wright was talking about paying it forward for individuals. And last week during our OMU water outage, I was speaking with Sonia Dixon. about all of the issues, problems, and everything else. But she told me this little story that was really cool. Apparently, OMU had to dig out one of their valves that's all over on North Highland Avenue, just south of where they were having the break. They had to dig down 10 feet wide, all around. It was a big excavation. And that was right in front of a lady's driveway, is what they had to do that. And you'd think that a person like that would complain or just really griping about what was happening to their property. Here's what the lady did. She got a cooler, placed bottled water in it with ice, which I'm not sure where she actually got the ice, but set the cooler out for the guys, for the crew that was working, with a note thanking them for the work and $20 to buy more water. Now, you know, after all of the things that she did, she had no water. She was probably the first off and maybe even the last on to get water. But she turned a situation that was bad into doing something good for guys out there busting their bottoms to get water back on for the rest of us. So what it really points out is that our community is a great group of people that can turn a bad situation into something good, and those guys would go through a wall for that lady now. They just really did exceptional work, not only there, but even the other facility where they had to get it back online. So I thank all the guys. They were in the hole, and what they were doing to be able to get our water on, it worked very, very well from their perspective, even though we had some issues. Thank you, Mayor.
You're welcome. Go ahead, yes, OMU. Okay, item number 10, open public forum. Members of the audience are invited to address the City Commission on any matter of public concern that was not on tonight's agenda. Comments are limited to issues within the scope and responsibility of this commission. City Commission meetings are held to conduct city business for the benefit of Owensboro citizens and taxpayers. The meetings are not intended to serve as public forums for candidates who are campaigning for political office. Political office, like candidates, like any citizen, may address any item on the City Commission's agenda. During the open public forum, any citizen of Owensboro may address specific city-related issue not on the agenda, but candidates for any political office will not be allowed to use the commission meeting to promote his or her candidacy for public office. At this time, anyone who wishes to address the City Commission, please make their way to the podium to be recognized. Speakers must state their name and address for the clerk's record and limit their remarks to 3 minutes or less. Since the item is not on the agenda, no response is required from city staff or the commission. The mayor reserves the right to extend time to the speaker. Okay, open public forum, open mic. Okie dokie. All right then, item number 11 is closed session. I will entertain a motion to go into closed session, please.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, closed session under KRS 61.8101B to discuss the acquisition or sale of property. We really don't anticipate any action after the closed session. Could I have a vote to go into closed session, please? All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Thank you all.